Ouchie, the wind never stops here. It comes off the moor in the dark, and it finds every gap in your wool. You are standing on a stone wall at the northern edge of the known world. It is just before dawn, and the year is around 122 after the birth of Christ. Behind you is Rome. Everything. Roads, wine, warm baths, your mother's voice. In front of you is nothing the maps can name. You are a soldier of the Roman garrison on the wall. The Emperor Hadrian has ordered built across the whole width of Britain, from sea to sea, 80 Roman miles of stone and turf. About 73 of our miles. It is the largest thing Rome has ever built, and you are one small figure standing on top of it, holding a spear, watching the fog. How the cold first. That is the thing the stories never tell you. You're probably not a legionary in the strict sense. The legions built this wall, but the men who hold it day to day are mostly auxiliaries, foreign troops recruited from the far corners of the empire and sent here to earn Roman citizenship with 25 years of service. Batavians and Tungrians from the Rhine. Spaniards, Gauls. Men who have never been warm in this country and never will be. How do you survive a day here? Not with a sword, with socks. We know this because they wrote it down, and the ground kept it. At the fort of Vindolanda, just behind the wall, archaeologists led by Robin Burley pulled thin slivers of wood from the waterlogged mud. On them, in faded ink, are the actual letters these soldiers wrote. The Vindolanda tablets, the oldest handwritten documents ever found in Britain. One of them is a shopping list of misery. Someone has sent a comrade socks, 2 pairs of sandals, and 2 pairs of underpants. That is the real war on this wall. Not glory. Wet feet. Now the sky goes gray, and the fort wakes up. You come down off the wall and back through the gate into your world, a rectangle of timber and stone holding a few hundred men. You share a small room with 7 others of your contubernium, your tent group, the 8 men who cook together, sleep together, and will die together if it comes to that. The room smells of smoke, damp leather, and bodies. Breakfast is bread and a sour porridge, maybe a little bacon fat. You wash it down with pasca, watered vinegar wine, the drink of the ordinary soldier. It is not good. It is warm. That is enough. There is a name you would know here. Flavius Cerialas, the prefect commanding the 9th cohort of Batavians. His name survives on the tablets. Real ink from a real hand. And his wife, Sulpicia Lepidina, received one of the most human documents in the entire Roman world. A birthday invitation from another officer's wife, Claudia Severa, asking her to come and make the day more enjoyable. A few lines of it were added in Claudia's own hand. It is the earliest known writing in Latin by a woman. On the coldest frontier in the empire, someone was still planning a birthday party. Hold that thought, because your morning is about to get worse. Most of soldiering here is not fighting. It is work. You carry stone. You dig. You clean the latrines, a long bench over running water where the whole tent group sits shoulder to shoulder and shares a single sponge on a stick. You stand guard on a mile castle, one of the small gated forts spaced every Roman mile along the wall, and between them the turrets, where 2 men watch the empty north and try to stay awake. There is a piece of paper that tells you exactly how thin the line really is. One tablet from Vindolanda is a strength report for a cohort of over 750 men, but when you read down the list, you find how many are actually present and fit. Dozens are away at other forts. Others are sick. Some have eye inflammation. Some are wounded. The unit on paper and the unit on the wall are never the same size. You have always been more stretched than Rome would ever admit. So, who are you watching for? People the Romans do not respect. One tablet actually calls the local Britons a mocking name, Brittunculi, meaning something like the wretched little Britons. That contempt is a mistake. These are not a disorganized mob. They know this ground. They come out of the mist, take cattle, take heads, and are gone before the alarm reaches the fort. A generation earlier, the governor Agricola had marched Roman armies deep into Caledonia. The wild north and the historian Tacitus, his own son-in-law, recorded the campaign. Rome won battles up there. Rome never won the land. That is why the wall exists at all. Step and ride. Not really to stop an army. It could never hold one out for long. It is a customs line, a checkpoint, a statement. It controls who crosses, taxes what crosses, and tells everyone on both sides exactly where Rome decides the world ends. You are not a hero on a rampart. You are a border guard with a spear, and most days the enemy is boredom, damp, and the slow rot in your lungs. But you are not only a soldier here, you are also a man far from home, and men far from home need their gods. Patterned along the wall, the troops build shrines. At Caroburg, a fort on the line, soldiers dug a small dark temple to Mithras, a mysterious Eastern god of light worshipped in secret by fighting men, his rituals held in a room built to feel like a cave. Just beside it lies a sacred spring dedicated to a local goddess, Coventina. Into her well the soldiers threw thousands of coins, brooches, and small altars, each one a wish, a thank you, a plea to get home alive. When archaeologists emptied it, they were reading 1,000 quiet prayers. Some of them, in another life, could have been yours. Now it is night again, and this is the hour that tests you. You're back on the wall for the second watch. The fires of the fort are behind you. In front, the dark is total, and the wind carries sounds you cannot place. A bird? A voice? Nothing. You grip the spear until your fingers ache. The man beside you says nothing, because there is nothing to say. You are two small lights of warmth on a stone line 73 miles long, and the empire that sent you here is 1,000 miles away and does not know your name. You count what you are owed. Your pay comes a few times a year, and from it, Rome quietly deducts your food, your boots, your bedding, even the burial fund that will bury you if the North gets its way. What you have really been promised is not gold. It is the end. 25 years, and then a small bronze diploma, naming you a citizen of Rome, you and your children after you. Most of the men on this wall are counting the same thing you are. Not victory, just the far edge of their service, and the chance to walk away alive. Because that is the truth of this place, the one the eagles and the marble arches never tell. The historian David Breeze, who has spent a lifetime studying this wall, describes it not as a knife edge of constant battle, but as a working frontier, a place of routine, paperwork, weather, and waiting. The drama is not in the fighting, it is in the enduring. And you are enduring right now in the cold for an empire that will one day forget it ever sent you. But you are not forgotten, not entirely, because 2,000 years later, someone dug up your letters, your request for socks, your commander's wife and her birthday invitation, your strength report, your debts, your gods thrown down a sacred well. The historian Guy de la Bedoyere has called Vindolanda a window into the ordinary Roman soldier's mind, and it is. Through that window, it is you we see, not an emperor, you. Hadrian's wall would be held for nearly 300 years until the legions were finally called home, and Roman Britain slipped away around the year 410. The stone is still there. You can walk it today, and the wind is exactly as cold as it was on your first morning. So think about that the next time you complain about your commute, your uniform, your cold feet, because the wind never stopped here. And for 25 years, Neither did you.